Welcome to For Collectors.
Well, I guess we had some technical difficulties, folks, here at For Collectors on the Ocho. What's up, Lou Rock?
It looks like you're getting like me, where you have to remember what channel you're on. Like, oh, wait.
Yeah. So, how many other channels do you participate in? Do streams with? Like, you're a pretty busy guy on the two, man. I see you on a lot of other channels.
Well, the channels I'm directly involved in, obviously Baseball Collector. If no one's out there subscribed, go for it. Let's see. Chasing Cardboard, Bench Clear Media. And then I just guest appear on and Hobby Hotline. So that's
yeah. So thanks for coming on here. So what's up, guys? I mean, you got a lot of guys jumping in. Jamal Hall, we got Rick Acosta, Chris from Missouri, Stooks, the Card Story. So with Lou Rock, so pretty good. What's going on, guys?
How long have we known each other, Cesar? Like at least 5 years.
Oh, it's more. It's way more than 5 years.
Yeah.
You were one of the. I remember like the first channels I saw. You had a video. Was it your top 50 cards? Or
maybe. Yeah. That was a long time ago. I do it every year, but started that a long time ago.
Yeah, I remember seeing your very first one. I'm trying to remember if it was 50 or like 300, but it was a long video. But I remember that's like I watched. That was back then when there wasn't so much content, so watching longer videos was cool, like doable. It's really not no more. But yeah, that was like, well, I remember that was one of the first videos I ever watched when I got on YouTube into the community.
I can't believe you stayed in YouTube after watching that crap, because that was terrible back then. Hey, they announced the Gold Glove winners. Do you care about Gold Gloves? Do you care about Gold Gloves?
I want to go out. Go outside and be. Go. Who won the Gold Gloves this year?
Do you have a Gold Glove PC?
No, I don't.
Okay. I have a Rubber Glove PC. Those are pretty good.
I have a Gold Tongue Ring PC. Okay. I don't wear it on video.
All right, Corey. See, yeah, we're both thrilled with. Did you see this card I got? Look at this. Speaking of Corey Seager, and then I'll tell you the Gold Gloves. Hang on. Booklet, dual auto, patch, Beltray, Seager.
Nice. Third and short. Those are nice patches.
Dodgers. Both former Dodgers that did better with the Rangers. So thank you.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to argue with that.
No,
Corey Seager's clutch in the playoffs.
We both got to enjoy those players. That's what's cool.
What's up, Mookie Chilson? Splendid sports cards. Corey Seager. Man, yeah, I've been a Corey Seager fan since the beginning. And now, Mike, you can have my leftovers.
So you know what? I ordered a Corey Seager base Topps rookie card, right? PSA 9. Bought one on eBay. And this was after like game 2 or something.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I got a note from the seller. Oh, I must have already sold this, or I can't find it, and I'm going to refund you your money. And I'm like, you sucker. Right after.
Was there a good price jump on his cards?
I don't know, honestly. I paid $18 for it, so it felt cheap at the time. And that I got a refund, but I didn't get the card, and I wanted the card,
Well, let me see. Oh, woo! Caught my slabs.
I didn't see enough of your butt there. Can you do that again?
I got like this Corey Seager rookie card.
Nice. Green refractor.
It's like 96 out of 99. But yeah, I mean, there's a 2006 Topps Chrome.
Oh, that's cool. 2006, or you mean 16?
I mean, 2016.
I'll say Corey was a kid in 2006.
All right, so
Okay, Gold Glove winners. Sorry.
oh yeah, that's right.
American League, Jose Barrios for the Blue Jays, pitcher. The catcher was Jonah Heim for the Rangers. First base, Nathaniel Lowe for the Rangers. Second base, Andres Jimenez for the Guardians. Matt Chapman at third for the Blue Jays. Anthony Volpe won a Gold Glove at short for the Yanks. Stephen Kwan for the Guardians in left. Kevin Kiermaier for the Blue Jays in center. And Adolis Garcia de Cuba for the Rangers in right field. And then Mauricio Dubon, I guess they give a utility deal.
Oh yeah, there's so many people that rover now.
Exactly. Now you got in the National League, Zach Wheeler for the Phils, Gabriel Moreno for the Diamondbacks at catcher, Christian Walker at first for the Diamondbacks, Nico Horner for the Cubs at second. A lot of first-time Gold Glove winners here. Cabrian Hayes for the Pirates at third, which is, I guess, sad for Nolan Arenado. He didn't win the Gold Glove.
Yeah.
Dansby Swanson at short. Ian Happ in left. Brenton Doyle, whoever that is, in center. And Fernando Tatis Jr. in right, which is interesting because he was such a good shortstop. Then they put him in right field and he wins a Gold Glove. So there you go. There's your 2023 Gold Glove winners.
Yeah, all deserving. The card story said that he thought my slabs were by the stove. You know that when we got our kitchen redone, we got that spice rack. And first thing that I thought when I was putting it together, like I had me and my friend put them together, I said, man, this looks like it's perfect for slabs. Like it's made for slabs. It looks like a slab rack. And so one day, well, when I made my first video putting all my slabs in there, you know, I had to take out all the spices. It's a spice rack, you know, take out all the spices and seasonings and flavorings. The whole thing was full. And I had to take them out. And then I put all my cards in, made my video, and then put all the spices and stuff back. Never told my wife, thinking she's going to get mad. Because I already asked her if I could do that. She's like, no, don't touch this. Leave them. But I didn't put them back exactly together. You know what I mean? I just pulled them out and then put them back in. And she knew right away when she opened it. She knew right away that everything wasn't where it belongs. And I kind of got in trouble. So I've done that 3 times. I've done like 3 videos where I put all my slabs in the spice rack next to the stove. So all those the times after that, I had to be careful to put them back exactly in the same spot, take a picture before and look at it and put them all back together, right? But yeah, I had to go through a lot to make that video when I do that.
I got to see Matt over the weekend at the Dallas Card Show.
Nice. Was it some of them? You hit both of them?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
How was that?
Matt and Tyrus. It was great. I was a dealer set up for the first time. I was trying to sell a bunch of Dave's cards, you know, from the basement collection. And I sold 9 87 Topps box or 11 87 Topps boxes, sold all those. And man, I was like, I'm here to sell stuff. So I had a price on it and I was pretty much going, all right. You know, if somebody wanted to give me folding money for cardboard, I was pretty much
they didn't happen to have any 1989 Topps Steve Jeltz in the PSA 10.
I looked specifically at every table, asked every dealer for that for you, and no dice, man. I'm sorry.
Man. That's impossible to find. That's the holy grail.
Yeah, I sold Matt some Warren Spawn and Hank Aaron items that he didn't have, which is always surprising if I have stuff that he needs. And so that was good. Lou Rock says, is it too early to talk Cleveland National? Asking for a friend.
You've been to the Cleveland one?
Twice.
Yeah, what do you think of it?
2014, 2018. I actually like the venue for Cleveland. The IX Center is really great. It's kind of like Atlantic City in that I didn't mind the venue for Atlantic City. The convention center was great. It was everything else. And that's kind of true with Cleveland. It's everything else, that nothing's close. There's no hotels that are connected or within walking distance of the center. So you have to either Uber, shuttle, drive from wherever you're
See,
staying.
what I've always wanted to do, I try to get everybody to do this at the last convention. Everybody that was at our hotels, and then we're all supposed to go meet up at some restaurant, a couple miles away. And I keep telling everybody we should all rent birds, like those little electric scooters. And because sometimes there'll be groups of like 40 of us. That'll be badass going down the street, 40 of us in scooters. Let's do it. People are always checking out.
Who would be the first one to wreck on a scooter?
Oh, man.
That would be pretty epic.
Yeah, it would be, right? But that would be a lot of fun. That'd be a good experience. Little e-scooter gang going down the road.
Yeah, I've already booked my hotel for Cleveland. Are you going to go this year?
I hope so. I think so this time for sure, since my soccer field is gonna start getting rebuilt like in a couple of weeks, so it's gonna be torn out. So
is that usually what holds you up?
No, normally it is sometimes the schedule, my work schedule. So
gotcha. What's up, Orlando? ¿Qué pasó, amigo?
Donnie live stream.
Let's see.
Hey, Orlando. How's it going in Florida?
Dallas seemed really slow to me.
Yeah.
Feels like it's slowing down. And I think they're doing it to themselves because they're having, 6 shows a year. I mean, and so nobody needs 6 shows. Even Burbank's only doing 2 shows a year, right?
Yeah.
So, and they're way bigger than the guy who runs the Dallas show, but it just feels like the crowds were less. I don't know. Matt's in the chat. He can chime in on his thoughts on what he thought about the vibe. But it was a lot of fun because Garrett was there with me. Andy was there with me. And so we just had a great time. That's the best part anyway, is hanging out, right?
Yeah, it is.
I sold just enough cards to pay for all the cards I bought and my table and my hotel room. So kind of worked out pretty good.
Lou Rock said he's got a humongous Airbnb.
Nice. I guess maybe they'll have room for you, Cesar.
Yeah. Can I take a sleeping bag and sleep on the floor?
By the way, can I call you Cesar? Or do you want me to call you Pepino? Okay.
You can call me Cesar. Or you can call me Stallion, whatever.
I mean, hey, I want the name that fits is fine. Stallion is good. That's a good one.
All right, so let's talk about baseball cards or baseball in general. Me and you, I think we're right the same age. So
I just turned 50.
Yeah, I'll be 50 next year. So
can I ask you a question about your binders?
Yeah.
Because I so love the way you collect in binders. I mean, it's something. If you do a binder show off, I'm like, watch over, like, again, pause it, look, watch. So the one thing I couldn't do that you do, and I bet you wouldn't do this if you could, I want to ask you this question. Would you have all the binders be the same if you could?
Well, I want to have them all be the same Ultra Pro, but different colors. I want black and white. So every 10 years, one decade would be black, the next decade white, the next black, the next white. So every 10 years, every 80s will be one color, every 90s one color. That's what I want to do.
But binders are so bloody expensive. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, and things too is sometimes I go back to old binders that are like my 58. I need to change it. I don't like the pages that they're in. It's actually like in old pages, and old pages are kind of dangerous. They're already like yellow. They are kind of dangerous for the cards. So then it takes a while because, like, say, all my Donruss and Fleer, you can see that they're still all in different types, whatever binders I got them in.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's such big variety. They're all different, and so that's actually like what I've been doing. You got the all black, the all blue, all brown. But I'm gonna eventually want to be all black and all black and white, and they're all gonna be the exact same binder, just
Gotcha.
different color. But I also want to have the best pages. I do have a lot of binders where I have the old pages, and I want to make them all the same pages too. Eventually they'll all be the same, the binders and the pages.
So I want to answer a question from earlier from Zach. I met Zach at the Dallas show as well. Real quick, we got a table, no problem, but I did pull the Chasing Cardboard card out and used it to get a table. So I don't know if we would have just been somebody that didn't know us, if we would have gotten a table, honestly, but it didn't seem like it was sold out. So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, but we didn't have a problem. All right, back to your binders. So
somebody asked like what do I recommend in pages, and I just got the Ultra Pearl Platinum series. This is what I find the easiest. Know what I mean? Also has a lot to do with it, but it's great. It's perfect. It's nice.
So I just started going with these BCW laser weld. And so normally in the middle of the pages, it there's a little bump on the ridge of each section, right? And these are totally flat. And so it makes the binder be able to, you can get more pages, you know what I mean? It doesn't create space in between each page.
Yeah. Do you own part of that company? Is that Baseball Collector? What's the W for?
Well, I don't know what BCW is a big supply company, but I got these free at the National. They gave out all these 10 packs. And
just have to show a little bit of butt.
Well, it only took me a little bit of leg to get
nice
pages. But
you
they were
shaved,
offering,
good move. That was a good call. Shaving your legs before you went to the show.
Well, you never know. We're gonna have to use the stems, to get some action, right? So they were giving them away. They were giving away at the end of the show literally cases of these things, and so they're pretty good. I've started using them on some sets, but my problem is space. Cesar, I've told you this before, how I'm so jealous that you have. It looks like the shelves. You probably bought them that way, but they seem like they hold the binders pretty well. There's a little bit of space at the top, but
yeah. See, this is the closest measurement that I could find. You know what I mean? I measured my binders, and everything, and this was the best shelf that I could find. That was almost perfect. So when I did build like my ones for my cardboard boxes, I built this by myself. I built it myself, so it's more perfect, because it's custom made. Showing off my carpentry skills right there.
So, are you doing like you did?
Oh, I can't hear you.
Did you do 2023 yet in a binder?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't have it in the binder yet. I just put my 2022, and I need to put my 2023 in the binder next. I haven't started right yet.
You're not doing an update series?
I don't know. I mean, I used to. Like if you were just to look like at like all my I have like the Tops update. I have a lot of extras. I collected the Tops Fire, the Heritage, the Chrome. I don't know if you can see it, but I collected everything. Allen and Ginter. But lately now with the prices, I can't finish my sets fast enough to then move on to update and move on to Chrome like before. Like before, I would buy a hobby box at the beginning of the year on the first day that Tots would come out, And with just one good hobby box, you almost complete the whole series 1, you know? And then the series 2, here and there, I'll buy 2021, the current year, whatever, packs, but just for fun. And I'm not really necessarily trying to complete the series 1 yet, because like the odds are still not great. But then I'll start buying the second series in packs, and that's kind of how I the last few years, that's how I've been completing my sets.
So sorry to interrupt, guys. Just had to announce there's someone that insists on being a party crasher and had to make an appearance for a few seconds. So here we go.
Oh
Whoa, what's going on?
What's going on,
How to
Mike?
rub it in.
Yeah.
The best team did not win today. Let's put it that way.
Come on. Don't be a hater, man.
We outgained you by 116 yards. It's like, come on.
Okay. All right. I got to send you a hurt feelings report. Fill it out. Get it back to me. Okay, all right. Thanks, guys. See you.
NFC East leaders. Wow.
You know, it's a good thing I love John Keating, like, because otherwise I'd punch him in the face. No, oh gosh, that did hurt today that the Eagles beat the Cowboys.
Yeah. My coworker's he's from Philadelphia. He works right here with me at USC, and yeah, he was, we had that little friendly rivalry, Eagles Indians, Eagles and Cowboys, and he's gonna get to rub it in tomorrow.
All right, so do you think if you did series 1, series 2, and update, you could fit them in one binder, or no?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I mean, I do have some of the updates, which are a pain in the ass. There was one year where it was a pain in the ass because there wasn't any difference, and it didn't have the update series, the US on the number. I don't know if you remember what year that was, but it was pretty recent. So it was hard to find them, but I think they do, because the updates are only a couple hundred, and with these ones nowadays being 660, it should fit easy. Still has room for on an 800 count binder for a few hundred.
Okay. I'm just kind of thinking ahead about how I want to do it eventually, with arranging everything and building the shelves and having all the binders. And I don't know if I'll do the Fleer and the Donruss and the Upper Deck and all that you have, and the Score. Don't you have Score too? And
yeah,
thank God you only do baseball, because
that whole bottom shelf right here is football.
those are all football sets.
This whole bottom one, all these in the bottom, those are all football sets. But football sets are a lot smaller. So each binder normally has like 2, 3, or 4 sets.
Okay. Gotcha. So what football sets do you have?
All the classic era of collecting football. Same thing as my baseball, the 80s and 90s mainly. Those are sweet cards back then. You know what I mean? There was quite a few that. Well, let me see if I can find one here. They're a little bit more quirky. Like the pictures they took, the cards. I thought I kind of liked the football style of making cards back then. They were a little bit kind of sillier, or at least a little bit more humor in some cards. But yeah, like this is the pro set right here. So right here, we got this base Upper Deck set, but it also has the pro set in there.
Okay.
And it has a different year pro set in there. So it has 3 sets in here in this one. So that's how most of my football are. Most of them have a couple of sets in them.
Well, I have to tell you, kudos to you for how you do your binders and that you put them in binders. And again, there was a time for a little while that people didn't think you were really a card collector. And I was thinking, what? Like, what are these people? Of course he is. Like, he's got a fantastic collection. why would anybody rib on Cesar? That's not cool.
There's hey, to each their own. There's most people like their mama's cooking, and they just don't think other people could be different.
Good point. Good point. Let's see. I'm reading comments. I'm definitely gonna have to do shelves that match the beast. I've got this vision when I move out to the ranch in a few years to build a card mahal instead of the Taj Mahal. It'll be the card mahal, and build this building that'll be holding my card collection. But I'd have to sell all my cards to build the building. That's how expensive it would be. It'd be like, wait a second, what would be the point of building the building if I have to sell all the cards that I would put in the building? So who knows? We'll see. Maybe I'll win the lottery.
Right? If life was only that easy.
It should be. Yes, I agree with Orlando. Cesar has an awesome collection and setup. Yes.
All right, so
what's up?
Where were we? Were we going to start something?
If you want, I just enjoy talking cards at all. So
yeah. So
you start.
So what was the first set that you remember or started collecting or got handed down or whatever? Like, what was your first memories of collecting?
81, Topps Fleer Donruss, but all three of them, I had them all three lined up on my floor, and I sorted them back then by team, and I would rubber band the teams together and throw them in a shoebox, and I'd get them out every once in a while. And I loved collecting the Rangers. If I got a Rangers card, I'd trade it for anybody. Like, I didn't care. Like, give me all the Rangers.
You had Nolan Ryan on the Rangers, right? While you were a Ranger fan then?
Yeah, but not till 89 was his first year with the Rangers. So he was in 81. He started it with the Astros. I guess 80 was his first year with the Astros. Nolan Ryan, first player to ever make $1 million a year. Little known fact.
Yeah, that's nothing nowadays. Can't even buy a Mickey Mantle with that.
Exactly. By the way, I saw a 14-year-old kid that bought a 52 Topps Mickey Mantle this weekend at the Dallas show. He paid $17,000 for it. 14 years old.
Wow, that's good. That's not too bad.
It was a authentic altered.
Yeah.
It was pretty miscut, honestly, and but it's still a 52 Mantle. Like nobody.
Yeah, that's funny though. I remember when when you could get a 52 Mantle authentic for like $1,000, because back then nobody really wanted authentics. A lot of people didn't want authentic. Like, it's trash if it's authentic. It had to be at least have a 1. So yeah, I remember I kind of was hoping that I could buy one back then, and that was, to me, was like, now I could probably swing it where I could buy $1,000 card if I had to. If I saw a 52 Topps Mickey Mantle, I'd put together $1,000 to buy it. But at that time, like, I couldn't put together that much money to buy it. But never did I expect it now for an authentic to be going for over $10,000.
Right.
Didn't see that coming.
Nobody did, I don't think. Yeah,
at least not this fast. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, baseball cards kind of go up, but so steady. And then we just had a whoop. Like, what the hell's going on?
And I think more in the bigger, like the more, I'll use the word iconic cards. I don't know that you saw that even as you and I collected through the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, right? I don't think you didn't take a break either, did you?
No.
Yeah, I didn't either. I collected less because I just didn't have any money.
I big time slowed down. Well, what happened with me is I used to go to card shows all the time, and then they just disappeared. All the card shops disappeared. It's just like the hobby came and went like that, but I still collected. And it's not like if the hobby died or anything or really slowed down, the economy slowed down, and just the money making wasn't there. Like, I don't know. I mean, Mickey Mantle is many times credited with bringing back like the popularity of baseball cards, and it was kind of not so visible in public and mainstream. You know what I mean? Signing autographs in the 80s. He was really like one of the first people to make that boom. And back then, they were signing for like $20, $50, Hall of Famers. And Yeah, so but that was a boom in mainstream. That was a boom in people. I don't think it was that big of a boom in prices. And the last one was a boom in prices. That's what I think.
I just wish we could go back in our DeLoreans and, buy all the cards that we couldn't
Yeah,
afford.
but there's still not another known working flux capacitor, so it's almost useless.
Good point. And Doc Brown is not around. He's not hanging. Over under on hours. Mike has worn that hat since Wednesday night. Yes, I've worn it a lot. I've worn it a lot. Let's see. Thinking about how things have changed and evolved just in our time in the hobby. I mean, to me, the base card show experience is pretty much the same.
Mhm.
I think Fanatics is going to change that actually as they start getting involved in shows and turning them more into, I don't know how to call it, like a Collecticon kind of feel.
Yeah,
I think they're going to start looking more like Frankensons, honestly.
yeah, that's what it seems like to me because how do I say it? Like, let's say Topps when it started, it was they wanted to improve the baseball cards, and then they had a monopoly. There's the whole story with baseball cards going on forever, and now that Fanatics took it over, their approach, like when Upper Deck came in, like, oh, we want to make a better looking card, better quality, that can't be contraband. Like, it was about the card. And I think when Fanatics bought it, it's really about the money. I think they're the first people in the card business that's really just about the money. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean they're not going to make a good product. Hopefully they still do. Hopefully they continue. But I don't feel their heart is in the cards. It's more in the money. But as long as they stay in the business side of it and let somebody else run it, a collector run it, I think hopefully it works out. But that's kind of my thought on it. But hey, like I'm saying is like, I don't know. I don't hopefully something good comes out of it. But sometimes I feel like I don't know if these guys are the right people for this.
I think the hobby is going to be fine with,
Yeah, the hobby itself will, the people, the community.
yeah, but I just think they're trying to increase the pie, right? There's
Yeah.
not a whole lot more money being spent on sports cards this month than there was 2 years ago on the secondary market.
That's one thing I credit you with. You used to always say that there's only so much money in the hobby, and this is pre-COVID. So like when you would talk about prices going higher, like, will this go higher? And there's only so much money in the hobby. We can't have so many expensive cards. And then when COVID hit, all this money just flooded into the hobby that wasn't there a year ago.
And now we've gone back to pre-COVID levels of spending on the secondary market. And that's what nobody's paying attention to or watching and realizing that what was spent pre-COVID and what's being spent now, if you add up every sale on eBay and through the auction houses, that's a number that's actually tracked by our friends at Card Ladder. And pretty much it stays within a very relatively tight range every month, a little bit more here, a couple million here or there. And like we're talking still hundreds of millions of dollars, and a couple hundred million a month is being spent on sports cards. But that's only on the secondary market. That's not how much sales Topps is getting or Upper Deck or Panini. So but I just think we're back to where we were on the secondary market, which I would think would correlate to the same spend on people buying. In fact, I think people are buying less boxes because of the price increases. And
yeah, I'm definitely buying less.
Yeah, and it's also because this is a losing proposition. Like they're printing so much.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is kind of goes in line with the question you asked me before. Like if I collect the update and whatever, there's so many the Chrome, the Heritage, what is it? I forgot, but there's all these variations, And I used to try to collect all of them, or at least I would spread my money out, even if I didn't complete any of them, buy, You know, 1 week buy some update, 1 week buy some heritage, 1 week buy, you know, something else. But now I kind of collect blaster boxes. You know what I mean? Instead of
Unopened.
buying packs, I'll buy one blaster box and leave it sealed. That's kind of something that's kind of just came out of this with changing my spending style. So now that I know I'm not going to put together update, I try to get one blaster box of update, one blaster box of chrome, you know, whatever I'm not going to collect.
Sorry, I'm eating a Reese's, so. Let's see.
You were you at home for Halloween? Were you handing out candy?
I was home watching the World Series.
What are you looking for? You got hidden sandwich?
No, I do the same thing. Like, here's a 2020 update. Blaster. 2022 update blaster. You know.
Watch. See if you can see here if it's not too dark. But I don't know. Is it too dark? Can you see? Yeah, it's too dark.
No, you can see
But
it.
in here, yeah, I got a bunch of packs, blaster boxes.
It's not too dark. You're just too close. So will you ever open those, or will they just stay there?
No, I don't know. I'm thinking that hopefully one day when I'm old or with grandchildren, you know, we could open them in the future.
Well, let's open that one right now.
That's a nice set, huh?
I actually think they're gorgeous.
Yeah, I do too. I opened one. Oh man. Yeah, every time I buy a blaster box, I'll buy a blaster box and the pack of it and open up the pack and put the blaster box away. But I gotta enjoy the card. You know what I mean? I don't want to buy a blaster box of chrome and never actually open one and touch it and see them.
Yeah, now you go to shows and people will open boxes and they'll throw away all the base cards and just keep the color or the refractors or whatever. That's terrible to me, but who am I to talk? I burned a blaster box of cards, so a hanger pack back in the day.
Out of curiosity, did anybody point out or did you see or was there any good cards in there? 'Cause I remember you were just kind of just throwing them in there.
Well, truthfully, I didn't really pay attention. I was trying to be funny, and that didn't work very well. So I don't think I threw away anything. Even if I did, there's plenty more of them. There's millions more. We're okay. I don't think I hurt the market, but I sure pissed a lot of people off. That was pretty.
Yeah,
fun.
Mookie Chilson just brought up that I took my 53 Topps Mickey Mantle on a roller coaster.
Yeah, that's how you do it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, Mr. Fisher Bike texted me and asked me like, "Well, weren't you scared of dropping it?" And I was like, "No," because it was like I had the kung fu grip on it. You know what I mean? I practiced my grip a lot on my hands, so I had a good grip, and I was more worried about my phone because I kept twisting my phone, like turning it, holding it loose to move it around. As I was more worried about losing my phone than the card, because the card, it wasn't going anywhere. You know, I could have got beheaded. My body would have still been holding that card.
Cesar gets buried with his 53 because they can't undo your fingers. If you got beheaded, they'd be like, "We're just burying him with the card."
I get mummified like that.
That would be good. Man, I hate this because I can't read the bloody comments without my glasses. Let's see. Magic Mountain's fun. I've been there. When was the last time we saw each other? When I came to Burbank in February?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you didn't go to Chi-Town, but you went to the last Chi-Town show.
Yeah, I've been to 2 nationals, both of them in Chicago.
But don't you think the show experience is relatively similar to what it was 20 years ago, honestly.
Well,
me,
yeah, but I remember 2019, they said like the National had a record-breaking attendance. And then after that, 2020, 2021, 2022, it's been getting bigger. But I think that's because of social media, not so much organically. Like 2019 felt like an organic growth.
I have some organic growths. Can you look at those later?
Yeah, man. It'll just cost you 2 Hall of Famer slabs, but
Okay.
anything you want.
I've got plenty over there. 20 last year was packed. I mean, packed. This year, I guess technically, still 2023. This year's Chicago National was bigger than ever in terms of square footage, dealer tables, corporate presence, and people. It was just packed, and still very fun.
Yeah, I don't think people know, but I kind of accidentally, I think I told this before. I accidentally started those pop-up shows on the hallways, at the Nationals.
You did, huh?
Yeah, when me and Filmington were having our party on the Friday, that was in 2019, no, 2020 or 21?
21.
2021, we had a party out at a bar.
I was there.
Huh?
I was there.
But I was giving kids, I said, I want all kinds of people to show up. And I took these little flyers, basically, just little papers, invitation to go to the party, to a card trading party. That's what I was making as a little flyer. So every time I saw every kid I saw, I would give them that flyer to go to that party, the trade night. But I didn't think about it was a bar and they wouldn't let the kids in. So all the kids were just sitting in the hallway, and then eventually they started their own little card show thing, and they started a trend. I accidentally started that.
You are such a trendsetter.
Right? All by accident. Like, oops, did I do that?
I do think that, I just said that I think card shows have felt like a pretty similar experience over the decades, but card shops are changing dramatically.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's so much more than the grumpy old man sitting. I mean, I remember grumpy old man sitting behind a showcase, smoking a cigar in his card shop, and
yeah, it did seem like back then kids in the hobby didn't get much respect. Now people that's all they care about is kids in the hobby. Like when you were a kid collecting back then, it was a kid thing, or it was an old man selling cards thing, and you're at his booth and he knows damn well you don't got enough money, to buy what he needs to sell. So he just wants you out of there, so somebody else could get your space.
I wonder the kid that bought the mantle this last weekend, the 52, if he went up to that table and said, "Hey, can I see that card?" The dealer's still thinking, there's no way this kid can afford this card. And he whips out, $17,000 and pays for it.
Whoa. At first I thought you were going to say he whipped out something else.
No, but it was pretty cool. He came over and showed us the card afterwards because he knew his stuff about vintage. He was pretty knowledgeable. Andy was talking to him quite a bit. And there were tons of kids at the Dallas show. That's one thing I'll tell you in terms of kind of this, measuring of the hobby health right now. There were a ton of kids at this show this weekend. And that I loved seeing it, by the way. That was so cool to see them.
Yeah. Kids are definitely the future. You know what I mean?
We got to let them lead the way.
Yeah. But I do remember when I was going to the bathroom and then I saw all the kids outside the hallway during that party. And I stopped by some kid who had a Darryl Strawberry rookie card in '83. I mean, I already have one, but that was my Grail card as a kid.
Mine too.
And I asked him, "Hey, how much is that?" And he was like $60. And then I just said, "Hey, oh man, I said, I left my card. The bartender has my card, you know what I mean? Because it's on whatever. And I said, can I write you a check? And he just looked at me like, what do you mean? Write me a check? Like, he had no idea what a check was, obviously, you know what I mean?
Crazy. I didn't think you were allowed to go into the bathroom with kids. I thought the court order said you had to stay a couple 100 yards away from kids.
As long as, but it said the men's room, so I got to go in the women's room. And nowadays,
That's okay.
you can't question me.
That's right. I won't ask you what you're identifying as today. I'll make sure let you be your own person. Very few kids at card shows prior to COVID. Yeah, I mean, not true. Maybe at the National. I always saw a lot of kids at the National, but we definitely need more kids in the hobby, and they'll get there, and then they'll kind of learn about how modern pretty much sucks, and in terms of not enjoyment, but just you can get a good return on vintage. Like you can flip vintage if you want, and kids will start doing that.
You know, and like with me with vintage, what I always say, why I love vintage so much, is something besides way so much more than modern. Is that you could have 2, 3, 4 cards of the same player, the same 69 Topps Reggie Jackson, and you could have 20, 2023 Acuñas, and 20 of those 23 Acuñas are going to look way more alike than those 4 Reggie Jacksons, none of them will look anything alike. 100%. No vintage card looks exactly alike. They might have the same condition, but they all got every single card will have a different dent, a different crease, vintage card wise, a different fade, different shaped corners.
Have you ever sent a card off to PSA yourself?
No.
SGC, nothing. You've never graded a card yourself?
No.
Interesting. Why
just
not?
Just that one Arenado that I won in a contest. I didn't win in a contest. I think Snoop won it, and he told it was Joey Brings It holding a contest. He'll grade a card, and they told him, hey, we'll just give it a Pepino. I was like, well, I don't really have any cards I want to grade. And then prior to that, I remember I had watched a YouTube video of some guy who had just sold a Kobe Bryant rookie card, a chrome card in a 1, and it was a pop 1, and somebody offered him like $23,000. And in this video, he was saying, the thing is, it's gonna stay a pop 1 because PSA will never give another card a 1 or authentic, whatever it was. Because they're gonna know the people did it themselves. They won't give it a grade. This is naturally this way, like whatever happened. So I was like, and I just asked around, like, hey, how can I get a card graded a 1? Like I'll do it to a good card, brand new modern card, so I know it'll be a pop 1. And everybody said the best advice I got was put a pinhole in it. So that's what I did. I got a Nolan Arenado rookie card because I had a lot of them at the time, and I put a pinhole in it and I sent it to Joey, so part of the contest, so he could grade it for me. And sure enough, it came back a 1. If you don't notice that pinhole, it looks like a 10.
Right. You brought up Joey Brings It, and there's probably a lot of people watching this stream that don't even know who the heck we're talking about. Joey Brings It, by the way, YouTube Hall of Famer, hasn't done a video probably in 2 to 3 years. I'm going to go through my list of people, and I want you to tell me if you remember them, because I don't ever unsubscribe from people, even if they
neither
stop.
do I.
So do you remember Caitlin, League of Their Own?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, Tigers fan. Cabrera collector.
She was a Tiger. Miggy Cabrera, that's right. And I'm telling you guys these names, and you should go check. I don't think some of the content ever gets stale. Like if someone's good and they're showing off cool stuff, it doesn't matter if they did it 5 years ago or 5 hours ago.
See, but that's one thing too. I feel like, not saying anything about today, but I one thing I do remember about YouTube like 5 years ago, a lot of people were storytellers. You know what I mean? Like Caitlin's one of them who put footage together and made great videos, commentary, like almost professional. You know, like
Yeah.
you're watching like a little show.
Yeah, not anymore. Back to the Shannon just came back to the cardboard. I think he did a video.
Yeah, I seen a comment on a couple of my videos lately. He was a comedian. He was funny.
He was funny. Beantown 62. God, what was his name? God, I know he's been to my house. I just can't remember his name. Let's see. Who are some of the old but good? Like, how about oh gosh, Michael. God, he's in the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. First class. He was in our class. Cesar. Old school guy, like really old school. Michael Wilkie, but I can't remember his channel off the top of my head. But
Michael Wilkie, is that Sevens? Tattoo Sevens?
Yes, Sevens. Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, he did.
He used to make some great songs. Like he would do videos of songs, but changing them to baseball related.
He did.
Or he would just sing sometimes. But yeah, man, he was also a funny dude. Yeah, like I remember I showed the first list of the original members of the Hall of Fame, the YouTube Hall of Fame, and people were like telling me how many they recognize, and some people were like, I only recognize 2 names. You know, it's like, wow, it's not that old. You know, and to think that these people were like at the top of the YouTube game, you know, around this time, and then they gone.
And here we're just fossils. What about Cuban Collector? Do you remember him?
Yeah, the guy from Florida.
Yeah, he was in
him,
Miami.
and then he had his other buddy too.
And then you had,
but
DD
yeah, I remember the Cuban Collector big time. He was, I don't understand. Some people can make so much content and then just be gone.
Dodger 27.
Oh, he had a great collection. I remember he did get robbed one time.
Yeah, he got most of his collection stolen.
Yeah, they took him right out of the case, out of the wall.
Piss me off. That would piss me off. Let's see. I just keep all these people. Ground Chuck hadn't made a video in a while.
Yeah, he's still active on the Facebook CFFL page though, I think.
Okay. Josh, Impact Player. Remember him?
Yeah, great collection right there too, man. He collected a lot of baseballs, right?
Yeah. Do you remember Jay McGillicuddy?
Yeah, he was a realtor agent like in Boston.
Yeah. And then Jay MVP.
Oh yeah, big time. Slept at his house. Me and Nate slept on his couch together.
Well, he came to the National this year, and he came up to me, and I didn't recognize him. I was like, holy crap, man. Good to see you, you know, kind of thing. Jeff Airtime, remember when Jeff would do the
Sunday
morning live?
Sunday trivia, morning trivia.
And you
that's
brought up Joey Brings It.
But right there, quick note. When Jeff Airtime, like he would go live like at 7 or something. So before 7 o'clock, I used to go live, going to get coffee so I can change over and watch his show at 7. So I kind of started doing like a free Jeff Airtime. That's how my Starbucks runs right here at my house started, like every Sunday morning, was because I used to do it for his show. I would just go live free Jeff Airtime show video, opening cards at the drive-through, and then get home, and then when it's 7 o'clock, hey everybody, go to Jeff Airtime, you know. But that's how I started doing like my weekly Sunday morning card rips.
That's hilarious. How about that guy? Some guy named Mike O was really popular for a while. He doesn't do content anymore. He's
a big flipper now. He rips people off. He has these auctions like all the time. Total rip off. Never has a Steve Jobs PSA 1089 tops. He's not serious about the game.
Passion for cards for
Matt. Yeah, dude. Matt and the cardboard teacher.
Yes. He had a crazy good collection. like nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt bought the 52 tops for his binder, for his 52 tops binders.
I'm looking at when was the last time Silver Jackify, and he only does about one video a month now.
Yeah, I think that's the advice he got from his agent.
Stealing Second. Oh God, what was his name? I totally should know
Well,
his name.
and then what was his name? Urka. Oh man, I can't pronounce it right now. You know, talk about he collected a lot of T206 and he had Porsches. Iscafan.
Iska fan, yes. I miss Stove doing videos. I sure miss that.
Him and Bob Lewis. I don't know what happened. I think they've made a couple here and there, but nothing like before.
What about Tommy Golf 85?
Yeah.
If you guys,
I mean, I remember yo, show me your hits. I mean, even Purple GT and Ed, you know, they're from those days too. They're way ahead of me.
oh yeah, Ed's about as old school as I think for the current guys, you know,
Yeah.
that are still doing content. He's probably the longest that I'm familiar with. There certainly could be somebody that's been doing it longer that I'm not aware of, but gosh, Vintage Card Curator. God, I wish he would do another video.
Yeah, I mean, did you ever watch that Watch Sunday Baseball? I've always said that's like that used to blow me away when I first started watching YouTube. And whenever I would catch up and already watch all the YouTube videos that are out about baseball cards, I would when I'm putting sets together, putting stuff in binders, I would watch that Watch Sunday Baseball like just on rotation. Like they only made like maybe 6 or 8 episodes, but man, fantastic production, great stuff.
Is that the name of the channel? Watch.
Yeah, Watch Sunday Baseball. It's I mean, it is so good, and this is like 10 years ago, 8 years ago.
I need to go.
But it's so good. It is so good.
Watch Sunday Baseball. Let me go see if I can find it. Baseball. Okay, let's see.
It is so good, the production. And it's done in Sweden.
It is done in Sweden.
Yeah, they're Swedish, but it's all great baseball card stuff. You learn so much. I learned so much from that show right away.
Their last video was 10 years ago.
Yeah, they were like the first people I used to watch. And those videos are over 10 years old. The production is awesome.
Here, let me, I'll share my screen so y'all can see what the channel looks like. There's Watch Sunday Baseball with Indy Nidu. 10 years ago. Wow.
They have great topics, man.
This looks pretty cool. Thank you, man. I have to go check this out. That's a good suggestion. Here's if I'm still being shared, here's Caitlin's channel.
Great production too.
Yeah, her last video was over a year ago. But Red Heart Manels and Trout and Miggy stuff and PSA bulk reveals. Dude, oh, she did a Hall of Fame ballot.
Yeah, and what I like about collectors like her is how much she also loves the game. You know, not just cards, like baseball.
Totally. Like if she had kept doing content, I was gonna vote for her for the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. And I probably still should. I mean, the Hall of Fame shouldn't matter if you're making current content, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that was a new rule. You had to have made a video the last year.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't it?
I don't know. I'd have to ask Jake, the new commish.
Or I think that's to vote.
Beyond Cardboard was a show I did way back in the day. It was kind of the first interview show that anybody did where you would every week I would talk to a different person and go, I think I did one with you actually.
Yeah, I was on there.
Golly, that was so long ago. I think you can just look for Beyond Cardboard on my channel, but I interviewed Nolan, Elite Co 3, and I mean tons of dudes where we went through their life besides cardboard. That was the name of the show, Beyond Cardboard. Like we all can see what we all like to collect by just watching our videos, but I wanted to get to know everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it really was beyond the cardboard. I mean, sometimes it got a little personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was a cool show. I mean, he made me feel uncomfortable, but I agreed to answer all the questions.
So, but I would ask stuff like, what's your favorite cereal, you know, or what, I don't know, just kind of weird random stuff.
That's the one where you had the rapid fire, right? Or
it was, yeah, did rapid fire at the end. And then Splendid Sports took my idea, I guess. That's okay. He's allowed. How long are we going on this thing? How long is this supposed to last?
I think we're good because I told my wife 1 hour.
Okay.
And it's an hour.
I told my wife the same thing. So, John, you want to come back on here?
Sure.
Did we give you any channels to go check out and watch some old videos?
I think there was a couple mentioned that I hadn't heard of, but I have done my research on the old Hall of Famers and actually checked out some of those dead channels from Hall of Famers before. So,
dead channels. Yeah, Bob Lewis did his last video 9 months ago. Man,
somebody could have had a baby and all that, and since he's been gone.
Exactly.
Although I did see him recently in a live with Stove. So.
Oh yeah, they have their collaboration channel too. What's that called?
Oh gosh,
I forgot what it's called. It's something stupid, anyways.
I don't remember the name either, but I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember the name. Two weird guys. I don't know.
Well, awesome, I don't know.
Man. Well, thanks for having me on Collectors.
Wife told me my dinner's gonna be ready at 7, so I gotta go, man. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for joining. That was a great talk, man. Off the cuffs.
Yeah, we did a whole bunch of different topics, didn't we?
Yeah, didn't cover anything that I said I would. But that's the way it works. All right, man. Thanks, guys. Thanks everybody for watching.
Keep collecting.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, guys.